This is Debs from Lucy's Library coming to you with the story of Passover. This is by David A. Adler, illustrated by Jill Weber. So I'm looking for the perfect Passover book. Have not found it. I do believe that nobody can deny that Scripture says over and over we are to remember the things that God did for us. And that's why He gave us this holiday. And I think we are supposed to teach it to our children. Yes, that's what the Old Testament says, but guess what? Jesus taught us all the things too from the Old Testament. So obviously He agrees with it. So I think it's good for our kids to know about these holidays. And one of my favorite things about this book is it's 98% the Bible story, the biblical narrative. And the back page tells you about the Seder. So it's not mucked up with a bunch of modern, Jewish traditions, but it's what is in the Bible, and it's focused on that. So I love that about it. I love the fact that he starts with Jacob and Joseph, and I will read you that starting page. The story of Passover begins more than 3,000 years ago when Jacob and his family settled in Egypt. Jacob was called Israel, and his family were called the children of Israel. They were also called Hebrews because of the language they spoke. That line I don't love. And I did my research, and somewhere between Noah and Abraham was a guy named Eber. And that's why we believe it's called Hebrews. But, they also were called Hebrews because of the language they spoke. You could kind of say that's putting it into kids' terms. I don't think it's really, heresy or anything. I definitely don't think it's worth throwing this book out for. The other line that I did not love, skip ahead to Moses as a baby with his pet cat, because he's Egyptian, he had to have had a cat. Miriam ran to her. "Should I get you someone to help you with the baby?" "Yes," the princess said. Miriam brought the baby's mother to work in the palace. Moses was adopted by the princess, but he knew he was one of the children of Israel. And we don't actually know when Moses found out. I researched that one again. We don't know when he became aware of his heritage. It certainly seems likely that he knew growing up at an early age, but we don't exactly know that. Then it goes on to say, when he was a young man, he saw an Egyptian beat a slave. Moses attacked the Egyptian and killed him, and then he ran away. So, we are Christians, and these are the things we teach our children about slaves being beaten and murder. But we also talk about Red Seas parting and burning bushes. All sorts of fantastic stuff that God did for His people. And this book is a great way to teach it to your kids.